Hello, dear students. Today's topic is data input in Java. Let's see how scanner class object is used to input the values. You see, scanner class is defined in java.util package. So in order to use its functions, we'll have to import it or include it in our program. This is very important. And there are different ways to import it. One method is to write the statement like this: import java.util.scanner. So we'll get scanner class only scanner class from java.util package imported in our program. Or we can do one more thing. We can write down the statement like this: import java.util.asterisk. You see, asterisk is a wildcard character and it can be used in place of multiple classes. So asterisk here means we are importing all the classes of java.util package, including scanner class. So if needed, we can use those classes also in our program. But in the first case, you can see only scanner class can be included in our program. And in the second one, all the classes of java.util package are made available in our program. So it's totally up to us how to declare it, whether we want extra classes to be imported in our program or just scanner class. It's a matter of choice. That's all. After importing the scanner class from java.util package, now we have to create the objects of scanner class. Through these objects only, we can use the functions of scanner class. And the functions are only responsible for carrying out different tasks. So a question may come to your mind: how to create an object of scanner class? So this is the statement that we can write to create the object of scanner class. Scanner obj equals to new scanner system.in. Now let us see these one by one. Scanner is a class. Obj is the object of this class. In place of obj, you can use sc, you can use xyz, any name you can use, but other than keywords, and take care of the naming conventions of identifiers. New is the operator to allocate memory to this object obj, because we cannot predict how much of RAM space the object will take. So that hard work is given to the new operator. It manages well. Then we have scanner with the brackets. It is termed as the constructor. You will be studying about constructors later. And system.in, it is a reference of default input stream. By default, we take input from keyboard. So system.in is a reference of that. Remember, system is a class and all Java classes start with capital letter. You can see system written with capital letter S. Scanner is also written with capital letter S. So this is the statement that you have to write down in order to create the object, and then this obj can be used to input the values, different types of values, and we'll see how we can do so. Once again, let us see the complete process. Import statement is used to import the scanner class from the java.util package. Then we create the object of scanner class, and through this object we will be calling the functions of scanner class, and these functions will be doing our job. Let us know about the various methods and functions of scanner class. And in the following explanation, I have used obj. So consider obj to be the object of scanner class. If you take sc as the object, you may write down sc in place of obj in the following explanation. First function is next short. Now this function can be used to input a value of short data type. The example is given just below that. obj.nextShort will be used to input the value, and that returned value will be stored in variable k, which is also of short data type. NextInt is the function used to input a value of int data type. The example is given just below that. obj.nextInt will input a value of integer type, and that is the reason on left hand side of equal to sign we have an integer type variable to store that value. Similarly, nextLong function inputs the value of long data type. NextFloat is used to input the value of float data type. All of these functions are very much similar to each other. Just see, nextDouble function. It also works in a similar manner. It helps us to input the double type of value. All of the previous functions are used to input numerical values. Now we have a function which helps us in inputting a string type of value, and that too a whole sentence. That means including spaces and digits and any other character that the user enters. All those can be input using nextLine function. Next function is the small brother of nextLine function because it helps in accepting one word only. Now this word can consist of any character, letter, digit, any other symbol, but not space. Space is prohibited because as soon as space is entered, it neglects all the remaining characters after that. So it helps in accepting only one word. There is a variation of next function. We can even use it to input a character, although there is not any direct method for that, but through manipulation we can do so. First we will input a word using scanner class function next. Thereafter, using char add function with 0 as its parameter, we can extract the first character of that word. Check out this example. First of all, string type s, an object is created which will store a word using obj.next function, where obj is the object of scanner class. So this is to input a word. After that, this same object s is used with char add function to extract the first character. You have to write down 0 over here to extract the first character. No other digit should be there, otherwise the answer will change. And this will be discussed in detail later when you study string functions. We can combine these two statements into one and write it as shown on the screen. Now let us see an example which demonstrates the usage of scanner class to to input values. It is a very simple program to input distance traveled by a vehicle and time taken by the same vehicle to move from one location to another location and compute its speed. So if the distance is in kilometers, time is in hours, so obviously speed will be in kilometers per hour. So we have to carry out this task with the help of scanner class object. Solution of that program. On the top of the program, please notice the import statement. Import java.util.scanner. So it will help us in importing the scanner class in our program. And when we get the scanner class, then we will be able to create its object. And once we get its object, we can use the functions of scanner class to carry out the various tasks. Now in the program, we have integer type variables d and t, d for distance, t for time obviously, and then double type speed is taken. I have declared double type speed because the value of speed can be a fractional value, as d will be divided by t, distance will be divided by time. So now let us input the value of d. sc.nextInt is used for that purpose, and to input the value of t, sc.nextInt is used. And we have to do the calculation for speed, so we will not input the value for speed. The calculated value will be stored in speed variable. You must have noticed that sc is the object of scanner class. As I have already told you that any name can be taken as the name of the object because it is just an identifier. So all the rules of identifier are applicable on it. So this object sc is used to call nextInt function, and together they will help in accepting the value from the keyboard. As we already know that sc is linked with system.in. Both are used in the same statement. So sc works with nextInt function to input the value from the keyboard. So this is the process to input the value using scanner class object. It is always better to go through an assignment in order to understand a concept. Hence, an assignment is coming up. As you read the assignment, pause the video. Solve it on your own. Then after that, play the video to get the solution. This assignment is related to initialization process to input data values. So initialize the values of p, r and t, and then compute the compound interest that the depositor will get at the end of t years. So read the question properly and pause the video. Check the solution. Nothing special about it. We are just assigning the values to the variables at the time of declaration. Double type p equals to 10,000, double type r equals to 10, and int type t equals to 3. And these three variables p, r, t are used in the formula to calculate compound interest, and then that is printed. Next assignment coming up. Read the question properly and then pause the video. Once you have tried it in your copy, then play the video to get the solution. This assignment is related to the second type of data input, that is through function parameters. Input the value of principal amount, rate of interest, and time period as function parameters. and then compute the compound interest. Pause the video, please. The name of the function is compound. The parameters are double type P, double type R, and int type T. Just notice one thing, that when we declare the variables as parameters, we have to give their data types individually. You cannot combine and write down double type P, R. It has to be double type P, double type R. And then these values are used in the formula, and hence compound interest is calculated and printed. Third assignment is coming up. The same thing you have to do. As you read the question, pause it, then solve the question, and then after that play the video to check the solution. This assignment is related to data input using scanner class object. The same program is there. So read it properly and pause the video. Check the solution of the problem. We have import statement, import java.util.scanner, so that scanner class can be imported in a program. Then we have double type P, R, and int type T variable to store the time. Scanner class object SC is created, and the same object is used to call the functions next double and next int. Then use these values PRT in the formula, compute compound interest, and display the answer. I hope that this video proves to be fruitful in understanding the topic. Keep practicing and enjoy programming.